回来了，我们这一款很久没有玩的游戏 SCP， 之前停更了一段日子，为了庆祝我的第一份档案。上一期我们玩完了那个什么兽脚之王之后，灭了个。我需要一杯浓咖啡清醒自己。这是隔天的吧？还又登录这个系统了。看到一群的，下一个不知道是什么 SCP 啊？好友来了，什么东西？3点55分了，这干嘛？我是要玩恐怖游戏啊，不是听你们那边吹水呀、这是什么？吹水？我要参加。链接，点入培训，鬼了，建立更多人连线。现在开始了哦。
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people. Today I'm going to tell you a story no one else has heard before. A real story of mystery and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story. The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel. One day, out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry. To make sure he didn't spread it to others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic. And so, in the attic he lived.
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, you'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle. I hope you'll practice well and prepare for next month's art festival.
But Mrs. Page, the melody is so difficult.
Don't give up, boy.
喂，我在玩什么小孩子的游戏
Daniel was reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page, and he knew he should listen. And so he practiced the penny whistle.
我是玩错游戏了嘛？这什么鬼？喂，怎么这个游戏这么多元化的？
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
喂，我可以不要玩这个 SCP 嘛？可以跳另外一个嘛？我要睡觉了。
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
什么鬼 ？Hello？
It was a mousetrap, and there was a red origami paper dragon inside of it. Daniel carefully removed it. It was marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was damaged.
烧掉它啦！哎呦，喂，这不是那种小孩子的游戏才会有这种的吗？选择道具修复。全部不能选的。去大便了。
Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air, imagining that it soared over all the world below. The next day, with boredom and loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
Our town is located in the plains, where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
怎么自己会走了？你走了出去了吧？你玩我啊你！妈蛋了，喵的，挺有哦。
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it. Before his very eyes, the paper ball began to grow, bigger and bigger. At that moment, a red figure suddenly appeared.
Wait!
The red figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box. Daniel studied the red figure carefully. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming. Thank you for saving me.
Just then, Daniel had an idea.
Huh? What idea? You want to burn it?
Had his penny whistle and slowly played a tune.
又来，我不要。
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. Began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air.
为什么？他在干嘛？怎么变成
The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
我变成一张纸了？他把它自己折。
My cherished friend, after many long years, we finally meet again.
Yes.
Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful rhythm of that instrument. But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable. Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit any time.
The piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic.
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks,
Huh?
and it seems even stronger than last time.
地震，然后
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open,
哟
and thick clouds of smoke billowed out,
哎呦，
followed by several paper balls. Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As
啊
the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost.
然后再也没有看到了那只龙。
As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother.
No more, please.
One day, the
One day?
box suddenly began to move.
He's back. 回来了吗？哎，这好像多只。
This time, there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
What?
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's
怎么这个箱子一开的时候就地震了？
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper.
Oh my
It
gosh!
began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other.
很紧张，可是我没有东西做，看到吗？我的手，
Daniel
我很无聊啊，玩这个。
Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and
Oh.
gathered the remainder of its
巴哈
power.
穆德，
The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball.
Oh my gosh!
And then came another paper dragon.
What the heck?
The monstrous
I want to
paper
play.
ball was busted to bits.
Can someone give me
Exploding
play?
into smaller paper balls. The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
哎，轻轻的捡取，贴上。他是贴了啊，还是他自己飞走了？
Suddenly,
Wow.
countless paper dragons began to gush from
哦，
the
这么多
box.
只！
The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons. Flying in unison, Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
哎呦！
In the sweet melody of his playing,
Yes.
Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
Oh, then what's the point? Oh. 这不是那条龙吗？还有那几只，全部飞走了，飞去哪里？你们？喂，然后
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
全部都变成这样一张，要写什么东西啊？什么故
After
事
the？ last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned. They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world.
啊？
Please believe this farewell will only be temporary,
为什么？
not be apart forever, and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
跟那些龙已经有感情起来了。我这故事好像
At
蛮好
that
的。
moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box.
完了，什么
A
巨
few
人？
days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered.
所以他都
He
可以出
could
去
now
啊。
play the penny whistle very, very well.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
他不是那些龙说要
Just
离开
then,
吗？
countless paper dragons shot from the
怎么每
cardboard
次地
box.
震的时候，这些龙飞出来是怎么一回事？
However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and crawling through the air in confusion.
No!
Happening.
Oh no!
But the paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away,
老板，
subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move.
这是外面的地震造成的吧？
Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violent lightning flashed through the room. The
Wow.
figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick
真的是
clouds,
巨人哦！
and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger! Now with a magnitude
7.1级，
Heaven almighty! Are we doomed?
感觉这根本就是这小男孩自己幻想出来的。
Unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragons struggled against it, with no means of fighting back.
Then how? I must do something. 吹！
This critical moment, 2 paper dragons shined brilliantly.
又冲过去了吗？这是
They heroically crashed their bodies into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons. But
But-
soon, he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke.
Oh no!
Evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only
GG.
grown stronger.
The earthquake is growing stronger still! The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years! My heavens! Will this nightmare ever end?
这故事告诉我们，音乐是很重要的。根本没有想鬼的。
Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance. It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel.
Then?
And affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers.
他跟我
As
道
if
别了
this
吗？
whole crisis had never happened.
哦。
Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what. Penny then left Daniel.
What?
And soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of
哇，这个
hesitation.
比最终幻想还要厉害呀，巴哈姆德！
At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star.
这根本就是那种童话故事啊！
That moment, Daniel seemed to see a
这
real
个小孩子
dragon
为什么喜
fly.
欢听童话故事？就是这种啊。
No!
然后消灭了他吗？哇哦！
A huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons.
全部
Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
然后怎么办？哎呦，什么鬼耶？他自带的 SCP 的玩法很多元哦，它完完全全跟前几章不一样的，它的玩法。哦，可以将那些全部找到了，结在一起。啊，这样子就变为那只龙了。哟，虽然是很
My friend.
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
嗯，哎呀，这个 SPC 是什么？是讲童话故事的吗？然后呢，突然间那几只龙又回来了，永远都存在他的心中，仿佛从来都没有离开过。Oh my god！ 太振奋人心了，这一款。
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
这是什么鬼来的？这个 SPC 是什么？1762。哎呦，这个虽然很一脸懵逼啊，这个1762巨龙出击，就是这些人全部都有看到了，现被保存在什么生物研究所。但是如果他不做这种卡通的画风，你就感觉不到很温馨了哦。这也是很难哦。我厉害，就想这些 SCP 的这个作者，一定要突破自我。还有什么好